Hi everyone, welcome back to the BD School. Here we share tips, strategies, and best practices to help you become a better business development pro. And today I want to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that we get from our students when they get to our business development certification program. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get started. All right, the first question is, can I attend the business development certification program if I don't have any experience in business development? Now, the short answer is yes, we actually don't have pre-requirements for you to join our certification program because our approach is actually very personalized. So what happens is once you decide to apply for the certification program, you will have to fill a form in the application process, and then we're going to have a call together. In this call, we will be asking you some very important questions related to how you do business development, what are your goals, your ambitions, how you're measured in business development, and then we're going to tailor the certification program based on your goals and ambitions. What does it mean that we tailor the training? It means that obviously we're going to follow the structure of the certification program. However, within the individual sessions, we're going to tackle and touch upon topics that are most relevant to you that are maybe not covered by default in the certification program. On top of that, the homework that you're going to get is also going to be personalized to you and really based on what we discuss in class. So yes, anyone can join, whether you have 0 years of experience or 20 years of experience. Keep in mind, it's all personalized to you, so everybody is welcome. Another common question we get about the certification program is whether you can join if you're based in another country other than the Netherlands. Also, in this case, the answer is yes. You can join pretty much from any side of the world, be it Australia, China, US, you name it, we are available for you. And there are 2 reasons for this. The first one is that we want to make sure that our knowledge is available for everyone because we really believe that everybody should have access to the right business development knowledge. And the other thing is, once again, we're very flexible in our approach, which means you can actually choose the starting date and the time of the day that you prefer to take the training. Obviously, within reason, right? So we're not going to be training you when it's midnight here, but I am 100% confident, and that's what happened with all the other students, that we can find the time that works for the both of us. So regardless of where you're based, don't worry, send in your application and we will help you find the best time for you to attend the training. Another question we get often is the training a group training or individual? Now, when it comes to the business development certification program, it is actually an individual program, which means 4 or 5 weeks we're going to meet on Zoom in a live session, which is entirely tailored and dedicated to you, and we're going to work through your challenges and goals. The reason why it is individual is that every company is very different. You do business development a little bit in a different way, but also you as a business development pro have different levels of experience, ambitions, goals. So we really want to make sure that the time we spend together is really dedicated to helping you out achieve your goals. And we found that in a group setting, it tends to be a little bit more difficult to get really to the bottom of things. And the risk is that you always get on a bit superficial level of the knowledge. We don't want that. We don't want you to waste time on topics that you already know very well. We don't want you to focus on skills that are not relevant to you. We want you to spend time really working on what's going to make the difference for your business development job. This being said, we also do have other courses, for example, the cold outreach course, strategic partnerships, negotiation, networking, which are group training. So if you're looking for a training that is more specific on some of the skills that I just mentioned, or you really want to be in a group setting, then probably one of these other training is right for you. Another question we get very often is how recognizable is the business development certification from the BD School? Now, my default answer is always that obviously it's not going to be seen as the Harvard certificate because obviously everybody in the world knows Harvard. And less people know about us just yet. But you also have to keep in mind that as of now, we are one of the very few companies providing specific business development training. Just, check around, you're going to find a lot of training which is called business development, but it's really more about sales or marketing. We are really one of the only ones providing that. And on top of that, we already train more than 600 people around the world. And we do have an accreditation from the Dutch CRKBO, which is the Dutch institution that basically checks the quality of education programs like ours. And we did get the stamp of approval, which means that what we do actually adds value to our customers. So yes, once again, I always say, obviously, we're a much smaller company than Harvard or Yale and so on, but these should not discourage you from getting the training. Even because, and you can just check with recruiters, managers, and so on, it's not really about having a certificate to show off on your LinkedIn profile, which obviously you should do because it always adds value. But the point of showing it off is not really to show a big logo or a big name. It's more to show that you're willing to work even on your own to improve yourself. And on top of that, I always say that our course should never be, you shouldn't really. What I always say is that you shouldn't really take our course because you want a certificate, because really the certificate and the program itself for us is really a starting point. It's not really an end point. If anything, what we do is trying to keep you engaged for a longer time after you finish the training with the individual coaching calls, with the community and webinars and a lot more content that we produce for you to make sure that you keep learning. So again, if you just want a certificate to show it off, then go on Coursera, get a free certificate, and you're done, right? But if you're really committed to improve your business development skills with the training, which is very practical and tailored to you, then the BD School is what you're looking for. Next question is, how are you different from other companies? Well, it really depends on the other companies you're comparing us to, but there are a few elements that really make the BD School unique in this field. The first thing is a very personalized approach to learning. Once again, in the Business Development Certification Program, we customize the content to you. But on top of that, you also have a lot of flexibility in terms of choosing your starting date, time of the day in which you want to take the training, and if for whatever reason you cannot attend one session, it's not lost. You can actually just reschedule it to the next week. So our flexibility and personalization is something that you don't necessarily find online very often. So this is one thing that I think makes us special and that our students really appreciate. And the other thing is that when we do business development training, again, we are not masking a sales training with the job title or with the title business development. What we do is business development in its pure form, I like to say, which is a more strategic, more a broad version of business development, where you're not just reaching out to potential clients or partners, but you're really working on the strategy of the company, coming up with new experiments, new initiatives to try so that you can generate long-term value for the company. Many of our students actually aren't even in touch with customers. Very often our students are working on new value propositions internally, or maybe they are enabling their other teams to, do new initiatives when it comes to business development, launch new experiments and so on. So business development is very diverse. We really cannot reduce it to cold outreach to specific clients. If you're looking for that, we do have a specific course, which is the Cold Outreach course. But once again, when you come to the business development certification, our program is a lot broader than what you find online. And I think this is another thing that makes us unique. Finally, the other thing which makes us unique, and maybe it's a reason for you to join, is that the training is highly practical, which means you're not going to spend a lot of time on theory. Obviously, you're still going to have to learn a few frameworks and some important theoretical things that are going to help you in business development. But really, the majority of the time that we're going to spend together is going to be spent on working on your challenges and really helping you achieve your goals. Next question is the Business Development Certification Program only good for individuals or also companies can take it? Obviously, both of you can take it. We train many teams with from like 3 up to 30 employees per time. So that doesn't really matter. Once again, the approach is still customized and personalized to you. So if you want to join with your colleagues, or maybe the company wants to sponsor the training, by all means, it is possible. So just check this page for more information about customization options for companies. Next question is, what can I achieve with the business development certification program? It really depends on what you want to achieve, in the sense that, once again, the training is really personalized to your own goals, ambitions. So what we do at the beginning of the training is really dissect what it is that you want to achieve, and then we will make sure that in the 5 weeks of the certification program, we work exactly on those skills. And then anything that is extra, you're still going to be able to learn it by having access to our online platform, where we have tons of content on demand that you can consult anytime you want. To give you some examples, we had some students whose main goal was actually to improve their process and make sure that they could get some more results. So, of course, in this case, the training was really focused on improving the process and making sure that they had a way to better measure business development and really show that they were not wasting time, but they were actually working for the benefit of the company. In other cases, we have people that actually just wanted to change jobs. So what we did was, obviously, once again, working on the business development process, but then really work a lot on their personal branding, on connecting with recruiters and connecting with the companies that they really wanted to work for. And then finally, we also have the case in which our students are entrepreneurs, so they want to start their companies, or maybe they just had their company. So in that case, of course, the goals could be anything from identifying the right audience that they should target, up to, reaching out to these audiences, reaching out to partners, and so on. So once again, the outcomes can vary very much from a person to another, but what I would recommend you to do is actually to check our reviews on Google, where you can see actually the experience of other students and what it is that they got out of the training. Next question is, I don't have a budget. What can we do? The first thing you can do is, if you're working for a company, go to your manager and ask if there is a training budget available. Many of our students are a little bit reluctant to do that because they feel a little bit ashamed of asking for some help, and they're convinced that their managers is going to say no. Now, I can tell you that from the other side, it's really, really the opposite. I talk with managers every day, and many of them are actually very annoyed at the fact that their teams are not using their learning budgets, and they really don't understand why. Now, I've been in both ends of the situation, so I know that as a business development pro, sometimes it's difficult, to admit that what you're doing is not working, that you need help. And, going to your manager feeling, maybe a little bit less confident and very self-conscious can be very confronting, right? So you don't want to show your managers that you're struggling. But on the other hand, your managers, first of all, can see whether things are going well or not. And if you're not proactive, and if you don't even ask, for help and say, okay, this is not working, what do we do? Your manager is going to think that you're not really committed and you're not really willing to improve yourself. So the first step, if you don't have a budget, is always this one, if you work, of course. Go to your manager, ask for a budget. Worst case scenario is that they tell you no, and, it's not really a big problem. If they tell you no, you just keep going with your day. The next thing you can do if you don't have a budget is to reach out to our team. We regularly provide discounts to the members of our community. We do provide installment payments if paying it all at once is a problem. And we also have more creative solutions that could help you out get the certification without breaking the bank. So if you do have this issue, just reach out to our team. I will put the link here below. So just make sure to reach out to our team and we're going to find the right solution for you. Next question is, how is the training structured? The Business Development Certification Program is a 5-week program, which means we're going to meet every week for 2 hours a week, 2 consecutive hours a week. And in these 2 hours, we tackle the content of the training. Once again, very practically. After these 2 hours, you're going to get an assignment that you will have to do on your own at home. We call them homeworks. But don't worry, the homework, they're going to be very practical, really related to what you're already doing in your day-to-day job. And it's really a way to help you integrate the new process that we teach you, but also improve the way you do business development. So we highly recommend to do the homework. Then after the end of the 5 weeks, you're going to obviously get your certification that you can finally show off on LinkedIn or on your CV. And you also get access to our online platform. On our online platform, you're going to find a lot of on-demand content that you can watch anytime you need. And on top of that, there is a 1-hour coaching call every month that you can use if you need so. Many of our students come back to the coaching sessions if, for example, they're experiencing new challenges at work, or if they have new goals, new ambitions that they would like to reach, so they want to have a second pair of eyes to look at that. Or sometimes, they have new ideas that they want to launch in business development, but they don't really know how to do that. So in all those cases, we're there available for you to discuss your business development job and help you grow in your career. All right, everyone, these were some of the most common questions we get in relation to the Business Development Certification Program. If you do have more questions, please put them down in the comments. We will make sure to answer to all of you. And of course, the applications for the program are always open, so I do invite you to check it out here in the box and in the link below. For now, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week in the next video.